It's too early to look at Shaughnessy this morning.
Yeah, but I mean, we're currently alive, so it's all good. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. Today is Friday. It may be raining outside, but rain helps the grass grow. And let's not turn this into a Monday, because even if we don't think it's a great day outside, it's still Friday. So these are the rules of the 187 District Court. Number one, to everyone, you are actually in a courtroom. So even though we're on Zoom and you may be Zooming from your home, your office, or at the Bexar County Jail, you're in a courtroom. Anything that you could not do in this courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. To all the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. You're not allowed to use the internet. If you do any of those things, what will happen is that you will end up being sent back. And as you know, they are short-staffed. So what will end up happening is you will be sent back, and we'll see you in 30 to 60 days, maybe 90 days, depending on how fast we're able to get you back. Just one moment. If you're at your office, at your home, or at work, you need to tell your employer that you need to take a break, that you are in court. If you are at your home, you're not to be eating breakfast, doing laundry, laying in bed. If you do any of these things, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. You are not to be driving and Zooming. If you drive and Zoom, no questions asked, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. And if your Zoom privileges are revoked, your Friday is quickly going to turn into a Monday, because you're going to be required to come downtown in this rain. You're either going to drive downtown, catch an Uber or a Lyft or a Via. And if you take the Via bus, my time from traveling on the Via bus, I don't think they give you change back. So you will have to give them whatever you have. And if you drive downtown, you're going to find a lot of construction, a lot of one-ways. And if you're able to find parking, you're going to find that it's very expensive. So anyone, if I have to revoke your Zoom privileges today, I'll give you the address now. It's 300 De La Rosa, 187 District Court, 4th floor. Also, to the defendants and those who are accused, you are not allowed to let your screen go dark or to stop your video. If your video stops, I'm going to let you know that your video is off. And I'm going to give you one chance to correct that. And if you do not correct that, or if you're unable to correct that, that means that you're going to have to come downtown through traffic. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all defendants and those who are accused, you're going to hear your attorney's name. You will not hear your name. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is probably Zooming in another courtroom, or your attorney had to appear in person. If at all possible, you will have a chance to speak with your attorney. Your attorney is probably going to go to the breakout room and speak with the prosecutor before they speak with you. So please do not ask if you should go to a breakout room, because if someone wants you to a breakout room, you will see a notice pop up inviting you to a breakout room, or I will specifically call you by name and request that you go to a specific breakout room. To all the attorneys, when I send you to a breakout room, think of those breakout rooms as when you go to the doctor's office. When you go to the doctor's office, you get excited because the nurse just came out and called you to the back. You think you're seeing the doctor and your day is almost done, but you're not. They just take you to a smaller room, and in that smaller room, they're checking your weight and your blood pressure before the doctor comes and see you. All of the prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. If you leave that breakout room, they will see that that breakout room is empty. They will skip over you and go to the next person in line. So everyone, please put some patience in your pocket. The other thing, attorneys, if you have an agreement, no matter how small you think that agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. She'll be zooming in shortly. Do not text her, email, chat her, and ask her for a continuance. I am the only person who can give that to you. Attorneys, I'm going to call the names. This is the order in which you'll appear. If you see you're low on the list and you wish to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another courtroom. However, if you Zoom to another courtroom and your name is called, you will be placed at the end of the list. Kathy Compton, Derek Edmonds, Ed Camaro, Laura Lefton, Michael Goins, Miguel Hernandez, Pat Hancock, James Anders, Michael Belichick, Albert Gutierrez, Sergio Ibarra, Roy Barrera, Fernando Trevino, Nifa Carrillo, Ed Shaughnessy, Brigitte Garza, Sylvia Cavazos, William Brooks. Is there anyone that I have missed? Any attorney?
Excuse me, Todd Coronado.
Any other attorney that I've missed? All right, attorneys, it will help me get you to your room quicker if you can add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. At this time, I don't see Albert Gutierrez typing that in, but I know he will. Kathy Compton, thank you for changing your name. Let me see, did you put that it was CTD or criminal trial?
I did. I started to do that, Judge. And then since I was here for a sentencing, I was like, no, I'll just put sentencing.
All right. So
I probably messed it up again, but
no. Excellent. You get an A+. Have you received the PSI report and everything?
Yes, Your Honor, I did actually. Norma was awesome yesterday, late in the day, and Rebecca too. They got that PSI to me, so I reviewed it and I am ready.
Do you need to speak with your client?
I could speak with him briefly, Judge, but there wasn't anything in there that was a surprise to me. We had an agreed recommendation to the court.
Okay.
And so
I've sent both you and your client to number 3. If you want to go there real quickly and come out, and I'll take you up as soon as I sign all of the other attorneys to the breakout rooms.
sure, absolutely, no problem.
All right, thank you. Tony Barrera, if you go to breakout room number 3. Derek Edmonds, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 4.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
Judge, when are you going to take up pleas?
I'm sorry, what?
Anticipate taking up pleas. We have a plea that's set for this morning.
All right, is all the paperwork completed?
It's all done. Everything's signed up. All I have to do is just have some time with you.
Has your client been sworn in?
No, not yet.
All right, so we need to get that done. So just
Is this
give me a
on
moment.
Robert Rivas?
Yes.
I thought we already did the plea. It was just,
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All done.
Judge, this one was in front of Judge Angelini. and
That's right. Thank you,
To
Mary.
be safe, wanted to PSI, I guess.
No,
Yes.
he wanted a tap only.
Oh, it's, yeah, tap, okay.
All right, so just give me a moment on that.
Okay, thanks, Judge. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Marilyn.
Sure. Ed Camara?
Yes, I'm here. Richard Musquez, CDT.
Oh, Ed, you changed your name.
Yeah, I finally, actually what happened, I think you changed it for me 2 days ago and it hasn't changed.
Ed, you know what? When someone wants to give you an A+, just accept it.
Okay,
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
thank you.
You're welcome. Guillermo Lara?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you for changing your name. I'll see you to number 6.
Thank you, Judge.
Laura Lefton?
Hi, Judge. How are you this morning?
Great. Thank you for changing your name. I'll see you to number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Michael Goins? Michael Goins?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi. I'll send you to number 8.
Your Honor, briefly,
Yes.
we filed a motion for competency in this case, and Norma emailed me that he's been evaluated, but the report is not yet ready.
All right. Just give me one moment.
Sure.
Norma, on Lionel Young, can I have a reset date, please?
And I didn't know if
Put
you
that in
wanted,
the chat box. Just give us a moment.
and I didn't know if you wanted to do it or if it's going to the magistrate's court.
Oh, no, just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Everyone, just give me a moment, please. Put patience in your pocket.
Hello?
Miss St. John, you need to just hold. Put yourself on mute, please.
All right, everyone. Norma, on Lionel Young, Mr. Goins, is Mr. Young in custody?
Yes, he is.
All right, Mr. Young, let me see.
I don't believe he's on the screen, Your Honor. I haven't seen him.
He's not. Your client is going to be reset for January 17th. Judge Carruthers is the actual person who will hear it. Have you had a inquiry done on him yet? Is this, the motion has just been filed and it hasn't been reset?
I believe it's been the report hasn't been done yet, Your Honor. He's been evaluated.
Okay. And do you know the results of the evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can you make sure that Mr. Goins receives that report?
Yes, ma'am. As soon as it comes in, Judge, it's gonna take about 30 to 45 days.
All right. So would you like us to counsel then your client from coming over and you can be excused and see him at another time? Or would you
Yes,
like
Your
to see
Honor.
him?
I'll get online with him over the visitation system.
All right, Norma, could you counsel then Mr. Young?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
You too. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. Miguel Hernandez.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Jason Brown. It's a CTD case.
I'm going to send you to number 8.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Pat Hancock.
Judge, I have Wilson Daniel Jimenez, and we've negotiated a plea. I've done the plea paperwork on my end. Tom said he may have to redo it for a technical glitch. I do need to spend a little bit of time in a breakout room with my client, but I didn't see him in the gallery, but you may see more than I do.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you make sure Mr. Jimenez, Wilson Daniel Jimenez is brought over, please?
Yes, ma'am. He should be on. Give me 1 second, Judge.
Thank you. All right, what I'll do, Mr. Hancock, I'm going to assign you to breakout room number 9, and I'll send your client there when he comes. Please just remain in the main room until your client appears.
Okay, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. James Anders, thank you for changing your name, but what is your client's first name?
I'm sorry, me, Your Honor? It's
Yes,
David. David
sorry.
Gonzalez.
All right. I'll see you to number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Michael Velichek.
Yes, Judge. I can't figure out how to change my name. I have Albert Limon. It's a drug case, so criminal trial division in custody.
All right. Are you on a computer, Mr. Velichek?
Yes.
All right. So next time, if you'll just go to participants and you click on that, and then when you click on your name, there'll be an arrow and it'll ask you if you want to rename yourself.
Oh, okay.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks. I was going to Google it, but I didn't get to yet.
Oh, no problem. I'll see you to number 11.
Thank you,
Albert
Judge.
Gutierrez, thank you for changing your name. I'll see you to number 12.
Judge.
Sergio Ibarra.
Morning, Judge. It's a family violence case, David Rosas.
All right, I'll see you to number 13. That's been the lucky breakout room number for this court.
Sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge,
Roy Barrera, we will get with you in just a moment. Yes, Ms. Ferguson.
I send you a chat, Judge, about the jail.
Okay. All right, thank you. Fernando Trevino.
Yes, Judge. I got a text this morning from my client that his mom is picking him up because he can't drive. He's going to an urgent care. So he's not going to be showing up.
Yeah, I'll send you to number 14.
But Judge?
I understand what you're saying. I mean, you still need to confirm, and I'm still going to need documentation that your client is actually somewhere else instead of being in court.
Will do.
Nifo Carrillo. Nifa Carrillo. Going once? Going twice? All right, Ed Shaughnessy.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm Jasmine Hardaway. Need a breakout room with Mr. Marcus. I always slip into that Marcus Spears thing. That's not his name.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you steal our football coach, by the way?
Well, I did not steal him, but now you know what I mean when I talk about Nick Saban betraying LSU, and before we allow him to come back, they'll need to be therapy. So now you guys need therapy for Notre Dame. Welcome.
No, we don't need therapy. You're going to need therapy because you got the most arrogant guy on the planet.
All right, I hope you wrote that to him in a letter. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 15.
I called him on the phone.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Bridget Garza.
Hi, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here with Cornelius with Rogelio Sanchez as our client, and it's CTD with Thomas.
Okay.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, and whenever you get a second, maybe later this morning, if we can go into a chat about yesterday's court appearance with one of my clients.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll send you both to number 16.
Thank you.
Since both you and Cornelius are going to be there, that's going to become another lucky breakout room. I know things will happen. Good things will happen in 16 now.
All right. Yes.
No
yes,
pressure.
ma'am.
All right. So I'm sending you all to 16.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sylvia Cavazos.
Good morning, Judge. I have two today, Landon Ventura and
All right.
Louis on. I had Joe Ray Garcia and Mr. Martin on the other.
Which one is for Joe Ray? They're both family violence?
Yes, Judge. Landon Ventura is Joe Ray.
All right. David Martin is, I used to say no longer with us, but then people thought I meant that they had passed. He's
Yes.
no longer in this court. He's in a different court. But I'll send you to number 17.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
I'm glad he's still with us. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will Brooks.
Morning, Judge. I actually conferred with Marcus already during the docket this morning.
Yes.
And I filed, my client is Mr. Solis. He's listed as Beverly Braley, though, on the Zoom, Judge. It's because it's his girlfriend's phone, I believe. I filed a motion for a competency evaluation yesterday based on some information my client gave me here at the office earlier this week. And there's a VR report for non-compliance in respect to ignition interlock. So I'm ready to address that whenever the court would like to. And I'm just seeking some guidance from the court on that one.
All right. So what I'll do is with regards to this, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with the state to discuss the violation report. And then we will go from there.
We did, Judge. Marcus and I did, Judge.
Judge, could we go to breakout room with you?
Yes. If you all will go to breakout room number 18. And if you will wait patiently there for me, let me just make sure I sign everyone else. And then I will meet you in number 18.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, and actually you're already in a breakout room. You're in number, yes. I'm going to send you to 18, but please don't go to 18. Well, you can go to 18. I'll meet you there shortly. Todd Coronado.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you for changing your name. I'll
Yes,
send you
ma'am.
to breakout room number 19.
Thank you.
Suzanne Kramer.
I've got
send you to-
Shelby. Okay, thank
I'll send you to number 20. Raphael Leal.
President Judge, good morning.
Good morning. Who do you have?
Victor Manuel Vela,
Criminal Trial Division of Family Violence.
family violence.
All right, I'm gonna send you to lucky breakout room number 21. And everyone, just give me a moment. Remember, it's Friday, so that's a good thing. So put some patience in your pocket. I'll be right back. So now we're here on Roy Barrera and your client. What is your client's name, please?
Robert Rivas.
All right, in my understanding, there was an issue or the previous judge wanted the evaluation, the TAP evaluation, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So your client was not sentenced?
No, no decision's been made.
All right, so let me see what the plea bargain agreement is. All right, we can take this up if both parties are ready.
We're ready.
Let me see, is there a prosecutor available? It's agreed to.
I'm available.
All right, thank you.
You may have to come up here, go back to the computer, okay?
It's doing this to me, but you know what? It's still Friday.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna leave
Now, the
you
judge
out
is
of the
probably gonna
equation
mute
to
you
start
here.
with. Let me see.
Hold it. That's how you talk.
All right, where is Mr. Barrera?
I'm right here, Judge.
All right, thank you. No problem. The court is calling 2021 CR 7770, State of Texas versus Robert Sean Rivas. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Roy Barrera.
All right. Before we take up the plea bargain agreement, I want to make sure that everyone is aware of the correction that was placed on the record that was written into the document entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonition. Mr. Rivas, are you aware that the failure to stop and render aid, what you're charged with, the range of punishment is up to a $5,000 fine and up to 5 years imprisonment? Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr. Barrera, did you tell your client that range of punishment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was there any objection to that being written in? The state was unable to type it in based upon the computer system. Any objection to that being handwritten? State?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding with the sentencing by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Judge.
All right, according to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine. The state recommends deferred adjudication. This is to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 661710. And there's to be $800 to Zoe, Z-O-E, Solano, S-O-L-A-N-O, in the form of restitution. And there are other things outside of the plea bargain agreement. It's the court's understanding that Judge Angelini is the judge who took this plea. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
All right. And to the clerks, could I have the stamp, please? And it is not listed on the docketing sheet, but how did your client plead to this offense, Mr. Barrera? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
All right. Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation?
Judge, I have not. I don't have a copy of the gap evaluation. No, ma'am.
All right. They are recommending residential treatment services for your client of their choosing through his health insurance network. I can ask your client a few questions to find out what his alcohol dependency is at this point.
Sure.
Right. Do you wish to continue to proceed, or do you wish to have a copy of this report, Mr. Barrera?
No, we will proceed.
All right. Mr. Rivas, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. So, Mr. Rivas, the questions I'm asking you are intended for me to craft a probation for you that you can be successful at, that you can control your addiction so that you don't go to prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I need you to answer truthfully to me. When is the last time you drank alcohol?
It's been a few months.
What does that mean?
The last time that I had alcohol was in October, a month.
Okay, so that would mean if the last time you had was in October, that means that you've been drinking after this incident. So how much and how much do you drink when you drink?
And then I had a minor slip up, but I have not drank heavily at all.
Well, no. Here's the thing, Mr. Rivas. In order to be successful, in order to be in control of your addiction, is you cannot lie to yourself. When you start lying to yourself, that's when problems occur.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you believe that you have a drinking problem? And a lot of people don't like the term alcohol. So alcoholic. So I'll say, do you have an alcohol dependency?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I'm self-employed. I'm a musician. I have several trades within that field.
All right. And see, that's part of your maybe part of your problem, because wherever you play, people are drinking alcohol.
Often, yes.
Mr. Barrera, this is what I want to do with your client.
Okay.
I want to send him to felony drug court. And Mr. Barrera, you'll need to follow through with felony drug court. If he's not accepted in felony drug court, then I'm going to have him go to inpatient treatment. Because for him to be drinking even after this incident, that tells me that he has a major problem. And based upon the fact that this is running concurrent with the driving while intoxicated case, that tells me that he has a problem. So I'm going to refer him to felony drug court. And if you are not accepted in felony drug court, Mr. Rivas, then you're going into inpatient treatment. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to be honest with felony drug court. You need to be ready to receive their help. Now, if felony drug court accepts you, they may start you out on outpatient treatment. They may start you out on inpatient treatment. But it is incumbent upon you to make sure that you're honest with them, because if you're dishonest with them and try to say that you don't have a drug or alcohol problem, I'm going to get a report back. It's going to be saying that you're not accepted because you don't have a drug or alcohol problem. They may have a wait list. I think they have a graduation coming up. So Mr. Barrera, it will be incumbent of you to call the court coordinator over there and try to get your client in there.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
Do you have
So,
any
and I'm assuming, did Judge Angelini find there was sufficient evidence to find him guilty, but defer finding of guilt?
I don't believe he did, Judge. I don't believe he went that far.
All right, let me review this very quickly then. Just give me a moment. But he did go over all of the paperwork with your client. Your client did actually enter the plea.
Yes, Judge.
All right, let me look through the paperwork. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, then the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find him guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as he applied for deferred adjudication. And I'm sorry, state, is there anything from the state?
In terms of the plea bargain, Judge,
Yes.
there was an $800 in restitution to the victim.
Yes.
Zoe Solano, I believe is her name.
Yes, I have that in the plea. Is there any thing with regards to the treatment that I'm trying to give to Mr. Rivas to start with?
Your Honor, I mean, I guess I'll defer to the court and what was recommended by the TAP evaluation.
Okay, so here's the thing, Mr. Rivas. If you're not in felony drug court, you're going to be in inpatient treatment. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have health insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if felony drug court doesn't accept you, then you're going to be in an inpatient treatment through your healthcare provider. And if your healthcare provider doesn't provide it, you're going to SATF. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is what the court will do. There's a $1,000 fine. That will be probated. Are you on ignition interlock?
No, ma'am, I don't drive. I have the home device.
All right, so I'm going to want an affidavit of non-driving. Are you on Scram?
No, ma'am, I don't know what that is.
All right, so I want an alcohol monitoring device. And Mr. Barrera, for now, that is going to be for the full term of his deferred adjudication. If he shows improvement, of course, you can come back and request it, but I'm not going to do that device for the half of the term. I'm going to do it for the full term. And Rebecca, for that device, I'm going to want him to blow 6 times per day. Until accepted in felony drug court or in inpatient treatment. I want a referral to felony drug court. If not accepted, then inpatient treatment through Mr. Rivas's health provider. And if that is not, if his health provider doesn't cover it, then I'm going to want SATF. 3 years deferred adjudication, 120 hours of community service restitution. If you provide proof of the COVID vaccination, then the court will deduct 40 of those hours. The court is not requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you get it, that will be deducted. No buyout of his remaining hours. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no employment in any facility with majority of business in the selling of alcohol. So what that means, Mr. Rivas, you cannot play at a bar. Now, if you are in felony drug court, or if you complete SATF or some inpatient treatment, we can revisit that. But for now, you are not to be playing at places where their primary business is to sell alcohol. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you have a question whether or not their primary business is to sell alcohol, you can put that with probation. I don't believe this thing in this court. You don't ask for forgiveness, you ask for permission. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The driver's safety course. There's to be regular Zoom reporting or in person. Field visits, random 2 times per month. And Mr. Rivas, if you're drug tested today, are you going to be positive for anything?
No, ma'am.
No marijuana, nothing?
No, ma'am.
All right. There's $800 restitution to Zoe Solano. This is run concurrent with 661710. And we'll do regular UAs for drug testing. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Rivas, is there anything else that you need from me in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
I'm sorry, which document is that?
Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal.
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Rivas, here's the thing. My statistics professor will be very upset with me for what I'm about to say, because I haven't done a poll, but it's just from what I've seen, right? When people drink and drive, you know what ends up happening when they get in an accident? They're just fine. Their passengers end up getting killed or injured, or either they injure somebody just out minding their business on their way to the grocery store. Do you have parents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you love them?
Yes, I do.
Would you want you on the road in the state that you've been in and your parents on the road at the same time?
No, I would not.
So you need to start thinking about that. I don't know why, if people are going to drink, walk to where you're going. Now, at the end of the day, if you're walking, maybe you're going to cross the freeway, which for some reason in San Antonio, Brenna, I don't know why people walk across this freeway and cut across lanes of traffic, walking on the pedestrians on the freeway. I mean, in that situation, you may end up getting killed, or you may cause somebody to have an accident. But at least there would be less chances of you causing a deadly accident if you were just walking, or if you called an Uber or a Lyft. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do not drink anymore, because otherwise you could be looking at going to prison for 5 years. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Probation will meet you there shortly. And Brandy Garcia, the DDRF director, which case are you here for?
I'm here for Juan Ramirez, cause number 2019 CR 8342.
All right, so Juan Ramirez, who's the attorney for Juan Ramirez?
That was Harkowitz.
All right, so on this case, they say that he's on the wait list. I'm trying to figure out how long is this wait list?
So he is currently number 10 on the wait list. And
okay.
ARC's next pickup is going to be conducted on the 8th of December. And that will move him down to number 6 on the wait list. So unfortunately, at this time, I don't have a projected time, but he is moving up on the list closer to his, expected arrival here at our facility. I may have a better idea because we get closer to the latter part of the month, we get the anticipated upcoming month's discharges, and that will help us gauge how many beds are going to be available at that time. But of course, there are a number of factors that could affect the bed space availability.
So on December 8th, what number will he be? You say again, please.
On December 8th, his placement will be moved to number 6 on the list.
All right, and so when is the next pickup after December 8th?
So the ARC typically conducts pickups once every 2 to 3 weeks. Now, given the holiday, we haven't really discussed if there's going to be another pickup in December. If not, it will resume in January. But it's usually once every 2 to 3 weeks, contingent upon bed space availability. So if there is nothing in DDRF at that time, we're not going to do any DDRF pickups. There may be pickups for the other programs, but not necessarily for us. I don't anticipate there being another bed available through the rest of December, because what is coming in on the 8th is filling up the ones that are discharging for December. So but I could be wrong. So other than that, we're looking at, you know, possibly a January, maybe February pickup, depending on bed space availability. It's too early to gauge right now, because I don't have that list for January, anticipated January discharges.
All right, Norma, can you set Mr. Ramirez for the beginning of January, and we'll see where we are? Just give me one moment, Ms. Garcia. What date? So January 5th, can you please zoom back in on January 5th, Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
All right, thank you so much. And if you can't zoom in, if you'll send us an email to let us know where he is on the list.
Perfect. I will do that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And you are excused. Norma, let me see if Mr. Ramirez is here.
You should be Judge 17E.
Mr. Ramirez?
Yes.
All right, let me find you. Just one second. All right, Mr. Ramirez. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to come back on January 5th, and we will see where we are. And then if there's not a space available to you by then the court will consider something else. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Norma, can you let them know 17E can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, anyone else back from the breakout rooms? Nifa Carrillo?
Judge,
I'll send you to breakout room number 22.
Judge, are you ready for me to go to the breakout room with Mr. Riga?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And Judge, I'm back and ready whenever you are.
Okay, just one second. James Anders?
Yes, Judge. I spoke to the prosecutor, Mr. Joe Ray, and we are both, we haven't been able to come to an agreement.
All right, where is David Lee Gonzalez?
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, your plea deadline date has expired.
Yes, ma'am.
So what that means is the court will not accept any further plea bargain agreements in this case. Mr. Anders, do you have all the discovery?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And the court has a discovery acknowledgement. Was an offer tendered?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Gonzalez, you rejected that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, can I get a date for this back in December so we can give him his jury trial date? All right, you're going to come back on December 14th. On that date, I'm going to give you your jury trial date. You and your client are excused.
So, Judge, just to make sure, we're coming back on December 14th, so you can give us the date to come back for trial?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, this is Mike Hernandez, and I only asked to jump in because my client needs to get to a doctor's appointment. Apparently, he's had some medical situations where he's got surgeries and things. That's Mr.
All right.
Mr. Brown.
Does anyone have any objection to Mr. Hernandez jumping the line? Well, nobody said anything, so I'm assuming they're okay with it. They realize Christmas is coming up. Nobody wants any coal in their stocking.
Thank you, Judge. We have an offer, but on this case, there's one indicted case. That's an older case, but I wasn't appointed to represent him at that time. And he's got 3 unindicted cases yet that we're waiting on. So I don't have all the discovery yet. And so I would ask for just a regular reset at this time so I can get all of that. But we do have an offer. He has rejected it. And so that's what I would ask for, Your Honor.
All right, where's Jason Brown?
He's under Mr. Brown.
I'm right here, Your Honor.
There.
All right. So, Mr. Brown, what is your medical issue?
I was shot 7 times in August. I done had 8 surgery. I got another pre-op appointment with my PCP, and I go into surgery for my left and right femur surgeries on the 14th of next week, I think. The 8th or the 19th, and I got to go see my PCP for
All right,
medications.
well, you
for
need
my
to make
pain
sure
management.
you know the date of your surgery. You don't want to show up a day later or a day early.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just trying to walk again and go to the bathroom by myself.
All right, well, I think that's too much information for me, but I'll accept it. All right, Norma, can you give me a reset date for Mr. Brown in the new year, please?
Give me 1 second.
And Mr. Hernandez, are you the person who's appointed on all of his cases or no?
Yes, now I am, Judge. Like I said, he had somebody before because it's a 2019 case, but when the new ones came in, because one's I believe a first degree, they gave them all to me. And
all right, we'll see you back on January 13th.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Maybe we both be excused.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, may I go to a breakout room on Mr. Lagish?
The Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Family violence, Your Honor. Sean Lagish.
All right, I'm going to send you to 23.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, can you ask Musquez to go to room 5 with his attorney? Not sure where.
Mr. Musquez, I need you to go to number 5 with your attorney, please. Inmate Musquez.
Yes.
I need you to go to breakout room number 5 with your attorney.
How do I do that?
If you look at the bottom of the screen, do you see where it says participants chat?
Chat, it says yes.
You see breakout room? All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you have somebody help Mr. Musquez go to breakout room number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Sergio Ibarra.
Yes, Your Honor. On Mr. Rosas, I confer with Joe Ray. He's in federal custody currently, Judge. I believe one of the cases he was arrested on here is being picked up by the feds. So he's going to look into how that might implicate the case that they have filed or indicted already. So just asking for a regular reset if we could to get that figured out.
Okay, I see in October, it says federal case pending. And then we came back November 2nd, federal case pending. Now we're here for December 3rd and we're saying federal case pending. So did the state give you some idea when they'll be able to check into that?
I had asked, I told him that the best thing for us to do is just confer or keep in touch before the next setting so that we can give you something definitive, an idea of what the state wants to do on this case.
All right, Norma, can I have a regular reset on Mr. David Rosas? All right, we're going to come back on January 11th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kathy Compton, thank you for being patient.
Yes, ma'am, no problem.
And your client's name is Tony?
Tony Barrera, Your Honor.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Barrera?
Mr. Barrera entered a no contest plea with Judge Angelini, Your Honor. We have an agreed recommendation for deferred adjudication. I did review his PSI and Judge Angelini also ordered a TAP evaluation. I reviewed that as well. I didn't see any issues or problems. Everything was pretty much what I expected. And I'm just gonna ask the court to please follow our plea bargain.
All right, are you ready to proceed? Who's the prosecutor on Tony Barrera? It's an agreement.
That was Marcus, Your Honor. I think he's in a breakout room.
Judge, I can do it if Kathy just says the agreement.
Yes.
I remember everything except the number of years on the deferred.
Oh, I have it.
think it
I always repeat the agreement. All right.
Okay.
Court is calling 2021 CR 9153, State of Texas versus Tony Lee Barrera. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Tom Nisbet.
For the defense?
Kathy Compton, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Barrera? You need to unmute. You're on mute.
Yes.
All right, are you Tony Barrera?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest on November 2nd, applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine. State is recommending deferred adjudication. They're taking a cause number into consideration. They're requesting 4 years deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and also the TAP evaluation?
Yes.
State, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to either? State,
No.
defense?
No, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, I know that the PSI pretty much says everything as far as he didn't have any criminal history. I think he had a shoplifting when he was 12. He didn't even remember it. He remembers getting a ticket for a seatbelt. But Tony is someone who is, I think, just, he's very sweet and he's kind of naive. And I think that he has had a very serious lesson in not being around the wrong people. And the gentleman who ended up taking a 20-year TDC sentence on this and taking responsibility for what he actually got his cousin into without his knowledge, really, was Tony just knows, like, he can't be around people like that at all, even when they're family or friends. So
After all the rest of
his TAP evaluation came back as not needing any sort of, they weren't recommending any kind of treatment for him at this time. I think he is highly motivated to do what he needs to do on this probation. He's never been in trouble. This was a really scary thing for him and his family. And I think that he's going to be a great success story for you, Judge, if you allow him the deferred.
Okay. All right. Who is Joel Salazar? Is that his cousin?
I believe, Judge, it was, and I'll have to refer back to the PSI. There was a co-defendant who took a 20-year sentence.
All right, Mr. Barrera, who is Joel Salazar?
Who?
Joel Salazar.
Joel Salazar?
Joel Salazar, who is that?
I don't know.
Judge, I think it was Leroy Gomez was the.
No, I'm reading the report, and the report says officers were observing the location when they saw two individuals later identified as Isaac Hernandez and Joel Salazar. So I'm trying to figure out who is Joel Salazar to you, but he says that he doesn't know him, so there'll be no problem having no contact with him.
No, I don't think he did.
Children? Do you have any children, Mr. Barrera?
No, ma'am.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And know that you will be drug tested today.
It'll come back negative.
Why are you hesitant? Like you don't know if you're gonna test positive?
Judge, I just want to let the court know, Tony he's competent, but in my dealings with him, Judge, and I don't know that he's ever been evaluated, but I do believe that he has a little bit of cognitive slowness. He's not trying to be obstinate with the court. He's not trying to be difficult. I do think that he's very respectful. He does his best, but I do want to let the court know that he's not trying to give the court attitude. I think he does have perhaps some cognitive difficulties that make him.
I'm just asking him to answer my questions.
I understand
Mr.
that.
Barrera, when is the last time you used drugs, or have you ever used drugs?
No, I never used drugs.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, it's a lot of money. Like, does he have that much money that he can get?
All right. Are you employed?
I have a job.
Do you have a
waiting
job?
For me.
Yes. What do you do?
It's construction, I believe.
Where are you living?
With my mother.
Do you have any children?
Do I have any what?
Children.
No, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Rebecca, this is 2021 CR 9153, Tony Lee Barrera. $1,000 fine, probated, 4 years deferred adjudication, taking in consideration 2021 CR 9154B. 120 hours community service restitution. The court will waive 40 of those hours if you provide proof that you've obtained the COVID vaccination. Court is not forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 hours will be waived. No contact with Isaac Hernandez, Leroy Gomez, Joel Salazar. There should be a UA today by 1:30 p.m. Proof of employment within 50 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Random field visits 2 times per month. If positive UA, then outpatient treatment with probation. Rebecca, is there anything else that Mr. Barrera needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Barrera, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Barrera, you need to make sure you know who you're hanging out with, because otherwise you could end up in serious trouble. You understand?
Yes, I hear you.
Sometimes the worst people to hang out with is family.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And Ms. Compton, you can go to number 1. After probation goes over his conditions with him, you're both are excused and you can be excused from that room.
Thank you so much, Judge. Have a great weekend.
All right, thank you, you too. Laura Lefton.
Hi, Judge.
Hi. So what's
Hi.
happening with your case?
I met with Marcus. He made an offer. I would like to meet with my client in person only because he's recently restored to competency. So I just want to speak with him and have kind of the ability to communicate with him in person about the offer and the options. So if we could come back, you know, maybe in a few weeks for a plea, I think that would be
All right. Is your client in
accomplished.
custody or on bond?
He is on custody. He is in custody. He's under 187 Gonzalez-171.
All right, Norma, can you bring Mr. Gonzalez back in December, please?
And if I could talk to him in a breakout room after you excuse us, that would be
All
appreciated.
right, you're gonna come back on December 13th.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll need you to have your client come back to the main room after you speak with him.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Who's playing music? Oh, so
Sorry.
that's okay.
Sorry.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 7 with your attorney. Hello, Rodriguez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I was about 20 minutes late into court, Your Honor, and I apologize. I had a doctor's appointment this morning.
No problem. Who is your client?
Liliana Barrios. And the state had offered a plea deal earlier this week. You called us back today to let the court know what the, I guess, decision was going to be. But my client's rejecting the plea deal, Your Honor, so we're asking for a trial date.
All right, we'll come back to you. Just give me a moment. Nifa Carrillo.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand you were looking for me. I was in the breakout room.
Okay, did you already speak with the prosecutor?
No, I was waiting for him.
All right, if you go to 22, a prosecutor will meet you there.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Michael Vilacek? Velacek, I keep saying your last name wrong.
That's okay. It's happened since second grade. We are through conferring, Judge. My client, Albert Lemon, wants a jury trial. We understand there may be another case being filed against him soon, but I believe we've already done our discovery acknowledgement, but I'm not sure.
All right, what new trial are you speaking of? I'm sorry, what new case are you speaking
The state said there is a motor vehicle theft that is going to be filed, but it's not filed yet.
Is it going to be filed as a felony?
Yes.
All right, Norma, on Albert Lemon, can I have a, you know what, set this in December to receive a, set this at the beginning of January to receive a jury trial date, that first week in January, please. All right, we're gonna come back on January 6th. And on that date, you will get your jury trial date. So you've received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has an offer been tendered?
It has.
All right, Mr. Lemon, where are you? Albert Lemon.
Should be on L27, Judge.
All right, did you leave your client in a breakout room, Mr. Velacek?
I believe so, Judge. I was in 11, if that's what happened.
Yes, I'll bring him to the main room. Just give me a moment.
Okay, sorry, thanks.
No problem. Norma, can you, oh, there he is. Nope. Norma, can you have them bring L27 to the main room, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Just give me one moment. Ernest Acevedo, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 24.
Judge, I think we've communicated with everybody for a status. We're ready to announce.
All right. Well, I'll put you in line. Oh, Mr. Harkowitz, on your client, Mr. Ramirez, we had the DDRF people come in.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're going to recall your case for January 5th. They told me that the wait list is for December, and then that'll put your guy at number 6, I believe, on the wait list. Now he's number 10. So we're going to see where they are on January 5th. If there's no movement, we'll do something else.
Thank you. May I be excused then?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Gomez.
Morning, Judge. I have
Good morning.
Manuel Hernandez.
Judge Carruthers found him incompetent on November the 18th, committed him for 120 days in facility for competency evaluation.
All
And
right, just
treatment.
give us a moment. Norma Manuel Hernandez,
Correct, Judge.
can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, Norma, we're going to come back on January 12th.
Okay.
Mr. Gomez, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great
You're
day.
welcome. You too.
And Judge, I sent you 2 chats.
All right, I've seen. Thank you. Okay, thank you. That's gonna go back.
Yes, Cesar Gomez's file. Cesar Gomez or?
Okay. Albert Limon. Okay, your client cannot speak up. You need to unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Lamona, my understanding, is your last name Lamona or Lamon?
Limon.
All right, so my understanding is that an offer has been tendered and you're rejecting that offer, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your plea deadline date in this case has expired. What that means is the court is not going to accept any plea bargaining agreements in this case. If you later decide to enter a plea, it'll have to be open to the court. We're going to recall this case for January 6th. At that time, the court will be able to give you a jury trial date because at that time, the court will have a list of its scheduled jury trials. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, you can let Lamone L27 go back.
How about a bond?
Your attorney will have to file that motion and the court will hear it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Norma L27.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse Mr. Valatek. And everyone,
Thank you,
just give me
Judge.
a moment. Let me sign paperwork.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Just give me a moment. I'm signing paperwork and there's a line. Just give me a moment. Okay, Guillermo Lara,
Yes, Your Honor.
yes.
Judge, I sent a message. I did confer with the state on it. Mr. Parada, I just received word from his family that the funeral for his mother is actually today. So he wouldn't even be able to make it to the funeral, Judge. So we would withdraw that motion for travel because he's not going to be able to make it over there to the funeral in Mexico, Your Honor. So we would withdraw the motion at this time.
Okay, and just so you're aware, the court is just receiving this motion late yesterday, so that's why we expedited it to have it set for today. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
and was there anything else we were here for in this case? Let me see, when do we have a setting? Okay, so we're coming back on December 10th.
Yes, Judge. That was all for today, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Andrew Froelich.
Judge, just would need a breakout room with Meredith.
Okay. Were you in a previous breakout room?
No, Your Honor. I was in bouncing around from different courts, so I apologize for being late.
No problem. I'll send you number 13. That's a lucky breakout room.
Do my best with it. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Well, sorry, Fernando Trevino.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
This is the one where my client is in the emergency room or urgent care facility. And I will I'll bring you the, I guess, the paperwork showing he was admitted.
All right, the court will need the documentation on that.
Okay. Do we have a new court date for that?
No, what's going to end up happening, I'm going to recall it for this afternoon, and we'll see where your client is.
Okay.
Just provide me some type of paperwork that he is in the emergency room.
What time do you want me to come in this afternoon?
We can recall it for 2:30.
2:30? Okay.
Yes, just to see if he is in the emergency room.
Of course.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes.
All right. See you in the afternoon.
All right, are the parties ready on Wilson Jimenez?
Judge Pat Hancock present for Mr. Wilson Jimenez. And
All right,
I sent him back from the breakout room, Judge, so I hope he's there.
Okay.
Judge, give me 60 seconds.
All right, we're going to do the countdown. Brenna, I'm telling you, it is you. When I put you in as like first or second, then everything goes haywire. Ed Kamara, have you spoken with your client, Mr. Music?
Yes, we have. We need a trial setting, Your Honor.
All right, just give me a moment. Norma, can you tell them at the jail that Mr. Moosecast does not have his video on?
Yes, ma'am. They're just having issues with the computers at the jail, Judge. For some reason, they're just snoozing by themselves.
All right, Mr. Roberto Ramirez. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 24.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Okay, Judge, state is ready on Wilson Jimenez.
All right, Mr. Kamara, we will come back with you in just a moment. Court is calling 2020 CR 4098B, State of Texas versus Wilson Daniel Jimenez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Tom Nisbet.
For the defense?
Patrick Hancock for the defendant.
All right, if you can unmute for me, please, Mr. Jimenez. Are you Wilson Jimenez?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Jimenez, in reviewing the paperwork, I see that you're not a U.S. citizen. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is English your first language?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So all of these documents are in English. You have been able to understand all of those documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hancock, have you been able to communicate with your client? And do you have any concerns about his understanding of the English language?
Judge, we've been able to communicate very well, and I have absolutely no concerns about that.
All right, Mr. Hancock, I'm showing you acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Wilson, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor. Tom, we have the lesser included, but we'll waive the.
All right, state. Thank you. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. We are proceeding on the lesser included second degree of robbery under a reckless, manslaughter under a reckless standard.
That was manslaughter.
Yes, any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Thank you, sir. Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand that what you're charged with as a lesser included offense is manslaughter? That's a second degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent but was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He, in my opinion, Judge, he's competent and legally sane at the time of the offense.
Mr. Jimenez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, did you advise your client of the consequences of pleading no contest or guilty in the application of federal immigration law?
I did, Judge, and I'd like to supplement the record for just a second, if I may.
Yes.
Judge, I have advised Mr. Jimenez under the Padilla and the subsequent cases that manslaughter for immigration purposes is an aggravated offense, which will result in his deportation. He's been made aware of this, and he wishes to persist and pursue in his plea. And I'd like to ask him on the record if that's if he's in agreement with that. Are you in agreement with that, Mr. Jimenez?
Yes.
All right. And Mr. Hancock, do you believe that your client understands the immigration consequences of entering in a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, did your attorney advise you of the consequences of pleading no contest or guilty and
Yes, Your Honor.
the application of federal immigration law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, and denial of naturalization?
Yes.
And did you understand the immigration consequences of entering a plea in this case?
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of manslaughter. Punishment is to be assessed at 15 years in the prison. There are no applications. You to receive credit for any time served and credit for time served since March 30th, 2016, which would result in that time being 2,084 days or 5 years, 8 months, and 14 days. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge, and as I told my client, and he had a question, that the time that you just reiterated as part of the condition of our plea will be reflected in the judgment. The issue is he spent continuous custody in different facilities, but our agreement is that the judgment will reflect the 2,084 days.
And just so the record can be clear, that 2,084 days, does that include his Bexar County jail time or only the federal time?
It includes all of it, Your Honor.
So including Bexar County jail?
Including Bexar County jail, yes, ma'am.
So that the record is clear then, the court always gives credit for any time served, Mr. Jimenez, and the court will give you credit
Thank you, Your Honor.
for time served, and the credit will show that it's 2,084 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Then to the offense, the lesser offense charge of manslaughter, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
The state offers Exhibit 1 in attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty of manslaughter. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, we just want you to go along with the plea bargain and reflect the time that you've already stated.
All right, then the court will sentence you to 15 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. The court will note for the record that your credit that you will be receiving are 2,084 days. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing, well, I'm sorry. You said that you have signed it, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understood it?
Yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
I do, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon is, you'll need to discuss that with an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Jimenez, how old are you?
39 years old.
All right, you still have more of your life ahead of you than behind you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. God bless you. You have a good day.
All right, thank you. God bless you too. Norma, can you let them know that Jimenez CH can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice Friday. Thank you, Tom.
All right, thank you. You too. Mr. Watson, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Mr. Watson, your attorney is actually in a jury trial. So as you know, if somebody's in a jury trial, they can't be in two places at one time. So we're going to recall your case for December 14th, okay? Now, here's the thing. If he is still in jury trial, then it will be another day, okay?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Last time I was here on I believe the last time I was in court, I asked to be, since I've been here for almost 6 months now, and it's just keep being reset that I can be, have like a PR bond or something. He put in paperwork for that.
All right, Mr. Watson, based upon what you're charged with, you don't qualify for a PR bond.
Or
now, what I can tell you, this is why your case has been recalled. It was set on October 12th. And on October 12th, when we came in, you were appointed an attorney at that time.
Yes.
And then we recalled it for November 16th to give that attorney a chance to look at everything. And on November 16th, we were recalling it for today because there was a video that your attorney needed to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm continuing to set to make sure that your attorney has all of the discovery and everything that he needs to represent you properly, okay?
All right.
So, and the reason why you're getting a reset today, it's not your fault, it's not my fault, it's not anybody's fault. It's just that your attorney is in a jury trial with another client, okay?
All right.
And whenever somebody's in a jury trial with their client, I like for them to be able to focus on that client. And once you finish with that jury trial, we will make sure we get him in here to focus on you. All right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Watson. Norma, you can let them know that L2 can go back.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ed Camara.
Yes,
Yes. On Musquez.
I'm here.
Yes, I'm here too, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Musquez.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. All right. Ed Camara, your client was just, I guess, restored. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Camara, have you had a chance to review all the evidence in this case?
Yes, I think so.
All right. So what we're going to do, your client was just restored, was an offer tender.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Musquez, have you had a chance to consider the offer that's been tendered?
It was 3 years, right?
No.
Oh,
I don't want to know what the offer is, Mr. Musquez.
well,
I'm just asking if you've had a chance to consider it. What I can do is I'll recall this for later in the month.
oh,
So you can think about the offer that's been tendered to you. Then you can let me know if you accept it or not. You understand?
yes.
All right. So Norma, can I have a December date for Mr. Musquez to come back so he can think about the offer that's been tendered? All right, Mr. Camara, we can do either December 13th or December 10th.
This December 13th looks good.
All right, so Mr. Musquez, you're gonna have till December 13th, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's your attorney tells me that he has all the discovery, so that's gonna be your plea deadline date.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Musquez. Thank you for your patience.
I'm free to go?
Yes, Norma, can you let them know 13A can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
May I have excuse, Judge?
yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ernest Acevedo.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on Fernando Toro. I have been conferring with David Martin all morning since we logged on. It's a pretrial diversion case. It was supposed to be kind of dismissed by this date. There were some mix-ups. David has new paperwork that we have to sign. He asked if we could get 2 weeks. He thinks he can be into the program and they can have the dismissal by then.
All right, Norma, call this back in December because we've been here on this case since August.
The
All right,
original
Norma.
application was submitted in early October, Judge, but yeah, I think we have it under control at this point.
All right, we'll come back on December 14th.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe
All
we
right,
do-
you're welcome. Yes, both you and your client are excused. All right, Nifa Carrillo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, I wanted to talk to the state, which is they made an offer. I talked to my client, but I need to talk to her to see because I'm going to ask Your Honor for. We're very close to a disposition in this case, but my client has a family law matter.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, David Woodard. Who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have Christopher White, and I just need to approach the court about a recall.
All right, what is going on with Mr. Christopher White?
We're going to enter a plea on the misdemeanor on Monday. I'd like to know if this case can be recalled for Monday.
All right, Norma, on Mr. White, can you recall him for Monday, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
And Chris, I'm about to call you right now, so pick up your phone.
Norma, what page is Christopher White on?
26, Judge.
And Judge, I sent you a chat.
All right, thank you, Brenna. Ed Bartholomew, and then it'll be Andrew Froelich. Ed,
Your Honor, can I be placed in a room with LaCedric Smith?
I'm sorry, who you want to be placed in a room with?
Not LaCedric Smith, I'm sorry.
Mr. Lagish?
Yes, I have. I have LaCedric today too.
All right.
Mr.
I'm gonna
Lagish.
send- All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
And let me find Mr. Lagish. I don't see your client on the Zoom.
Courtroom, Your Honor.
Okay, courtroom, could you go to breakout room number 3, please? All right, Mr. Bartholomew, if you go to 3. Andrew Froelich.
Hey, Judge. I was talking with Meredith about Margaret Garza de la Cruz. We have a plea worked out today. She's having some technical difficulties. I know she was logged in a few minutes ago. If we could reset this for a plea in person next week, at least for her to, yeah, she can make, she's got a persistent cough, which scares the bejesus out of me, but isn't, contagious as far as I can tell. So if we can get her in person sometime, Tuesday works great for my schedule in person.
I mean, can she come down now?
I don't believe so, but I can get her to try.
Oh yeah, let's see if she can try. So we'll recall it for 2.
2 o'clock. Can I? Next week works better.
And let's see what happens.
Because I have to pick up my kids from school is the reason.
Oh,
So if we could do
all
it.
right. Well, let's see if she can come in.
Oh,
It's
she's
only
here.
10. Oh,
She's
she's here?
Yes, Miss De La Cruz, could you speak up? No, you're unmuted, huh? Just
Let
say
me see.
something.
Margaret Dela Cruz. If she can speak up. Or if she can raise her hand. Because I don't see her on the Zoom.
I see her. She's Margaret De La Cruz. I moved her window up right there. She's here.
Ms. Dela Cruz? She's here and she's here in her robe. Yes, this will be taking today. She's in court in a bathrobe. So yes, this will be taking place today. It will be either taking place today on this Zoom after she is appropriately dressed, or either it will be taking place in the courtroom. I don't know in what world would someone think it's appropriate to wear a bathrobe for court. So your client needs to be dressed, and she needs to be dressed now. So I'm removing her from the Zoom screen. You can call her and let her know she is removed from the Zoom screen, that she needs to be dressed appropriately for court. There is no situation whatsoever where a bathrobe would ever be appropriate for court unless they're willing you into the hospital. And if they're willing you into the hospital, then you probably shouldn't be on Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor. I will talk to her.
Thank you. All right, Albert Gutierrez.
Good morning again, Your Honor. I have conferred with Marcus Sanders and I've conferred with my client. We do not have an agreement, a trial date.
Okay. Then on Barbosa, Mr. Gutierrez, what is happening is the court is not 100% sure how our jury trials are going to be scheduled. And we won't know till in December. So what I'm going to do for Mr. Barbosa, because he's not actually one of the older cases that we have here, we're going to recall this for the first week in December. And at that time, we'll give you and your client a trial date. I'm sorry, the first week in January.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry. You know, I just don't want to believe that it's already going to be 2022. That's why I keep saying that. So we're going to come back on January 6th, 2022 for a jury trial date. Where's Mr. Barbosa?
He's there, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Barbosa, could you unmute for me, please?
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Barbosa. We're going to come back on January 6th. At that time, I'm going to give you your jury trial date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Gutierrez, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And has an offer been tendered?
It has, Your Honor.
And Mr. Barbosa, are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Barbosa, January 6th will be the date that I give your jury trial date. And also that date will be your plea deadline date, because I see that I given you one before in September, but then it was sort of like a tentative offer was made, but now you have your definitive offer. So that'll give you a chance to think over it. And if you decide not to accept the plea bargain agreement on that date, you'll receive your jury trial date. And after that date, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gutierrez. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Joel Rodriguez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, what is happening with?
Liliana Barrios.
Yes.
She's not taking the offer and
Okay.
she's requesting a jury trial date.
All right, where's your client? All right, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, do you have all the discovery in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was an offer tendered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Barrios, are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and this is the same offer that was previously given, is that correct, defense? Or was today a different office?
It was actually a better offer than the first one.
Okay.
As far as the amount of length of probation.
No. All I wanted to know is, were you given a new offer today?
No, not today. No, Your Honor.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Norma, can I get a setting date for this, the second week in January, please? All right, we're gonna come back on January 11th. Ms. Barrios, that's your plea deadline date, and that's also the date where I will give you your jury trial date. So if on that date, you don't accept the state's plea bargain agreement, the court will not accept any further plea bargain agreements after that date, and you will have your jury trial date. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you and your client are excused.
Your Honor, what time on that day?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ed Shaughnessy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, what is happening with Hardaway?
Yes, Your Honor. I've been consulting with Marcus on this matter, and there is still an outstanding discovery issue relating to medical records arising out of her hospitalization out of county, which are probably the linchpin of the case relating to cause of death. And the state informs me they're still seeking that material.
What
we
are
have
they?
we have not reached the point of engaging in plea bargain negotiations.
So here's my question. Have records been subpoenaed?
No, they have not been subpoenaed. I was tendered a number of records from the hospital through the discovery, but it's difficult to subpoena something if we don't know if it exists, and the state's trying to determine if in fact it does exist.
State?
Yes, Judge, that's correct. We didn't have any indication that she had been hospitalized somewhere else, but it does make sense that she was. We don't have any records that show that. Our plan was to reach out to the family to see if we could find out where she was at so that we could figure out who to subpoena or if we can get those records.
And when you say this person, is it the complainant or the defendant?
The
complainant.
Okay. All right, Norma, on Jasmine Hardaway, can I get a reset date, please, for discovery?
Judge,
And I
can
put a request in the chat box. Yes, Ms. Hardaway?
So I don't know if you remember, but in June, my job had closed down due to COVID. I don't know if you remember anyways. So now that I try to get another job, I can't get a job because this is on my record already. I can show you emails or doing that. Everybody's stopping me for doing anything and providing because this is on my record. I mean, reset is a good thing too, but I mean, how do you say, like, if they don't have it, then why I keep doing this? Like, you know what I mean? I can't get a job because this is on my record. Is there anything the court can write to the job that I'm supposed to be getting or trying to get?
No, there's honestly, there's nothing else. There's nothing that I can do on my end, because let me explain. A lot of people don't know what judges do, right?
I've never been in trouble before.
Okay, let me just tell you my role in all of this. My role in this process is, at this point in time, is to make sure that your attorney has all the discovery, make sure that the state turns over all discovery. And if there is something that the state may have, what I'm hearing from the defense, the state may be able to find something that maybe something different will help them with this case. But the state is not prepared to make an offer in your case right now. And in my court, I require that the state makes an offer on every case. Maybe it's an offer of dismissal, who knows? But as far as telling your job that your case is pending, that's not something I would do, because then that would be showing potential bias on my part for you.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. I didn't know. I just want to work already. Like, I've never been in trouble. So this is literally holding me back from a lot.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is, and I would suggest talking to your attorney about that. What we're going to do is we're going to come back on January 21st. If the state has that information before then, trust me, the state and your attorney have each other's numbers, and the prosecutors in this court, even though sometimes a case is not set on docket, they still are working with attorneys behind the scenes before we come to this point.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
all right. You're welcome. All right, Mr. Shaughnessy, you and your client are excused.
Judge, can you ask Ed to hold on for just a second, and can I talk to you in the breakout room real quick?
All right, Ed, could you hold on a second? Who do you need to speak with in the breakout
Yes,
room?
indeed.
You, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hardaway, you're excused though. Have a great rest of your year.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Norma, do you need to see me and Mr. Shaughnessy?
Just you for right now, Judge, before I talk to Ed.
Okay. All right, Norma, I'll meet you in breakout room number 1. Everyone just relax, pull out the patience if you need it from your pocket. I'll be right back.
Their case sucks and they know it.
Ed, can you go to breakout room number 1? Ed Shaughnessy.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Breakout for join, breakout room, join.
Nifo Carilla?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, I've talked to the state and talked to my complainants that made a very good offer. There's my client has another issue going on right now. So what we want to do is ask the court for a short reset, like 2 weeks, so he can talk to the other attorney about on the civil case about what he's about to do. And so we respectfully request that.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll set you for December 13th.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You and your client are excused.
I think he's still in the breakout room. Can I go in there and tell him to?
Yes, you can go in the breakout room. Is your client custody or on bond?
He's on bond.
All right, you can go in that breakout room and tell him as excused. Norma, on Mr. Anthony Baker, we're going to come back on December 13th for potential disposition.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Ed Bartholomew on Lagish.
Honor, we've received it, excuse me, we've received an offer, Your Honor. My client's considered it, he's rejected it, and we're requesting a trial date.
Mr. Lagish, where are you?
I'm right here, man.
All right, Mr. Lagish, this is an old case. Defense, have you received all the discovery?
You have, Your Honor,
Was an offer tendered?
graciously, and yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lagish, are you rejecting that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, on Lagish, can you call him back in December for a reset date for his jury trial date, please? All right, Mr. Lagish, we're going to come back on December 13th. December 13th, that's your plea deadline date and also the date where you receive a jury trial date. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now, Mr. Lagish, you can appear by Zoom or in person on that date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you on December 13th.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused, Your Honor?
He can be excused after he receives his reset form.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Roberto Ramirez.
Yes, Your Honor. I've
Yes.
conferred with Brittany, and the arrangement requires my client to plead.
Well, which client are we speaking about?
Sorry, David Sadna Calderon.
All right, yes.
So the arrangement requires for him to plead in the misdemeanor court first. And I thought it was set for today, but I'm being told by County Court 7 that they're not doing the court today, even though I had a court date. So I'm trying to get a court date for him now as soon as possible.
Okay, so if we recall this for December 13th, will you have a court date by then?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, Norma, can we recall Mr. Calderon Cerna for December 13th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Norma, what page is he on?
He's on page 27. And I just need to know his seat number.
Let me see.
His SID number?
No, his seat number,
Oh, seat. Oh,
17K.
thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're
Your Honor.
welcome. Derek Edmonds.
Hello, Judge.
Yes.
I have an update on one case. The other two cases, I just need to talk to Marcus briefly and give you an update on those as well.
Okay.
I just got out of a breakout room again with Michelle. We made a counter offer to her. She's made a possible.
Which case?
It's on Dyer.
Okay.
Wilson Leland Dyer.
Yes.
So we made a counter offer to her today, and we're going back and forth. I think we're pretty close, but we're asking for a little more time because she needs to bring the complaining witness in along with the mom and talk to them a little bit about the counter offer.
All right. When will this happen?
She's thinking probably will happen within a couple of weeks. She's having her advocate reach out to the mom now, but the mom's at work. But she's thinking should be agreement in a couple of weeks.
All right. Michelle Hayden, if we call this back on the Norma, what day in December? Do we have December 14th open?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that enough time for you, Ms. Hayden?
I'm hoping it is. I'm optimistic. We're going to reach out today and see if we can schedule something as soon as possible.
Judge, January 4th works too. I don't know if that's too far out for the court. That gives Michelle a little more time.
Yeah, we'll see where we are on the 14th. And if you all find something out before then, the court is always open.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And then your other case?
So Judge, on Alcarez, we got an offer today from Marcus, and we can come back on the 14th. I think the client will accept it. I have a feeling he's probably going to accept the offer.
All right, is there any reason we can't do it today? Or
Well,
you
we're-
want time for him to think about it?
I'd like to have time to think about it. He has no criminal history of any kind. We're hoping for a reduction to misdemeanor. Marcus is not at that point, so it is going to be a felony plea offer probation. But if we can come back on the 14th, Judge, as well, on that case, we should know by then.
All right, I'll put you down for the 14th.
And on the last one that I have, Judge, I don't think
What is
we're going to
that?
come, it's on Briggs. He's the only client I have that's in custody.
Yes.
So there is still some discovery we're missing. That's what I need to talk to Marcus about. But I think my client is going to want to put this case on the trial docket. Now, the discovery we're missing, though, and I'm just making the court aware of it, I think it's pretty important discovery is actually videotapes from the hotel where this allegedly happened at.
Just 1 second. Mr. Briggs, would you unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Briggs, here's the thing. I don't let people, well, I don't want to say I don't let. I never recommend anyone to go to jury trial without having all of the evidence. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So your attorney is entitled to all the discovery. So I'm not going to give you a jury trial date. This is a relatively new case, but as you can tell in the 187 District Court, we do move cases quickly. Anybody who's been at the Bexar County Jail for a long time, since I've been judge, it's because it's a case that I've received from another court. So we're going to reset this for the new year. What's going to happen at that time is the state should be able to give your attorney all the discovery, an offer can be tendered, and then you can make an educated and intelligent decision on whether or not you're going to accept that offer. Who knows? The state may get what they want and then say we're going to dismiss the case. But I know that you would hate to be going to trial and something happens and then the state is like, oh, we finally gotten this piece of evidence. Maybe we're going to dismiss the case. I'm not saying they will or they won't, because I don't know anything about your case. I only know what you're charged with. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right,
Yes.
so we're, yes,
Yes, I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Edmonds.
We come back on the 14th as well, and hopefully that'll give Marcus enough time. I'd rather move his case sooner than later if that's possible, because I really would like to get his case going, as I know you would as well.
Well, here's the thing. I'll put it on the 14th, but I don't want us to keep coming back on this case when I'm not giving the state enough time to obtain what they need to obtain. Is Marcus,
I'm here.
all right, so this is what we'll do. Mr. Briggs, I'm going to reset you for January 10th. But Mr. Edmonds, when you come in, what I need you to do is to speak with the state. And if you speak with the state before then, and they say that, hey, we have the information they provided to you before the 10th, if they provided to you by December 14th, just let the court know. We can give Mr. Briggs here.
Okay.
Even if you come in on December 14th and it's 9 a.m., Mr. Briggs, and they say, we have the discovery, here it is, defense, I can still order you to come to court by Zoom for the afternoon. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, the problem is if I keep setting you, it's going to show that you have maybe like 20 settings. And then I'm going to be wondering, why do you have 20 settings? I'll be able to look and see the reason why, but that's not a good thing. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, do you have any questions about anything, Mr. Briggs?
Not for you, Your Honor, just my lawyer, that's it.
All right, so Mr. Edmonds?
Judge, on January 10th, I have a pretty involved sentencing that day in the 226. Can we do January 7th or January 11th instead?
I'll put you down for January 7th.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then after you speak with your client, if you could have him come back to the main room so we can excuse him from the main room.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll
Marcus,
move
can I
you
visit
to
with you, Marcus?
number 3. And Mr. Briggs, what breakout room were you in?
I don't remember, ma'am. I don't.
All right, let me see if I can find you. I'm telling you, if people would see the screen the way I see it, you would just be amazed. All right, I found you. I'm sending you to number 3.
Hey, thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. All right, Suzanne Kramer, and then we'll take up Andrew Froelich. Suzanne Kramer.
Judge, I'm on my iPad because my computer wasn't working. On Sheldon Barnes, two things. The state has still not been able to make contact with the complainant, number one, and number two, there is some discovery that I told them that we still don't have, that they're going to seek that out and see if they can find it.
All right, and has your client been restored?
Yes, Judge, this is his first setting past restoration.
All right, and who's the prosecutor you were speaking with?
I was speaking to Brittany, I believe.
All right, does anyone have any idea when you have the discovery ready on Barnes?
Just for the court's edification, Judge, the discovery was actually some phone pictures that were allegedly taken by a witness at the scene, and I just don't think they've been able to find that witness to get those pictures from her, so that is problematic for the state, but Brittany made a notation to try and find her.
All right, so how long are we looking at? I'm trying to figure out where is this case going?
I can't tell you because that's really up to the state. I know they've reached out to the actual complainant 2 times and they've not gotten any response back. So
Judge, we're in the process of gathering some new information that our advocate received this morning and reevaluating some things. If we can just have a short amount of time to reach back out to Ms. Kramer to make a decision one way or the other.
All right, is December 14th enough time?
Yes.
All right, we'll see you back on December 14th.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Everybody have a good weekend.
All right, Mr. Barnes, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Barnes, what's going to happen
Yes,
is
sir.
we're going to recall you back on December 14th. Your case may be taken care of sooner than that, but we're going to call you back on that date and hopefully things will have worked out. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question for you,
Yes.
or a request rather. I've been incarcerated for almost 9 months now, since March 17th. I don't understand what's going on as far as PR bonds or the executive order given by Greg Abbott not to allow certain releases to be done through, I think it was 17.
But you know what? I always tell people that's why you need to write people.
I've written significant numbers of letters, ma'am.
This is what people don't understand about this court.
Mhm.
I don't make any laws.
I
I'm just
understand.
here to follow the laws that are on the books.
So could I
So
request
your attorney can speak to you about that. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to move your case as quickly as possible while still allowing you to have your due process. And part of that due process is your attorney having all of the information she needs. So we're going to bring you back on December 14th. The state said they'll have the information they need. Okay.
For sure.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Barnes. Number 17, Jay can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
And Briggs, Mr. Briggs, are you finished speaking with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, Norma, Mr. Briggs can go back. All right, Andrew Froelich, is your client now dressed and out of her bathrobe, which for some reason someone thinks that's appropriate courtroom attire?
You know, Judge, she's under Margaret de la Cruz. She should be in a white blouse or a white shirt at this time. I'm sorry, it's yellow.
I think it's a neon, sort of green, sort of like your chartreuse. What color would you say that is, Brenna? It's not the navy robe.
I think it's just yellow.
That she had no clothes underneath. So Brenna is saying yellow. I think it's sort of like a chartreuse, sort of like in the green range. All right, Mr. Froelich, why wasn't your client dressed appropriately for court?
Judge, I
There's
apologize.
really no excuse.
I
right?
didn't inform her correctly of how to dress for court.
Okay, so here's the thing. I understand you're saying that, but you know, sometimes I think people make excuses. Like, in what world would anybody think that wearing a bathrobe, like just coming down to the courthouse, if you were physically in the courtroom, wearing a bathrobe would be acceptable? Brenda, have you seen anybody walking the halls of the courthouse wearing a bathrobe and flip-flops and maybe hair rollers. Well, maybe you see the hair rollers, but I don't see the bathrobe.
Actually, I've seen that, Judge, but it was a competency issue.
Well, see, there you go. And I think your client is competent. But I don't understand why someone would think wearing a bathrobe is appropriate. I mean, why are the inmates not in bathrobes? You know, and it's not your fault, Mr. Froelich, it's your client's fault. You never would think that you would have to tell someone, don't wear a bathrobe. I remember when I was a defense attorney, I would tell my clients, dress as though you're going to church. Then I realized people dress at the church sometimes like they go into a club. So then I said, strike that off. I'm just going to have to tell you, wear some slacks. You don't have to wear, if you want to wear jeans, you can wear jeans. But then I had to say, don't wear ripped jeans, put on a shirt. I never thought that I would be on a Zoom and I would have to tell somebody, don't wear a robe. Don't wear a robe with no clothes underneath for Zoom. So, Ms. Dela Cruz, your case is getting taken care of today. And you are lucky that so far at this point in time, I'm not having you appear in person in court, because your Thursday right now should really be a Monday. So your Zoom or whatever issues you're having with Zoom, if you can't work them out, then you're going to need to appear in court this afternoon. So I'm sending you to a breakout room with your attorney and Mr. Froelich, whatever plea you guys are doing, y'all can take care of it in the breakout room.
Judge, if I understand we want to take care of this today. If we could get her in on Tuesday in person, I believe that would take care of the issues.
No, your client appeared on Zoom in a bathrobe. So I'm sending her to breakout room number 2. She needs to figure out that Zoom, or either she can figure it out in the courtroom.
Okay.
And you can talk to her about appropriate dress while you're in there with her.
I will, Your Honor.
Sylvia Cavazos.
Thank you, Judge. I had to step out for another Zoom. I have Mr. Gaitan today, Louis Gaitan. I have conferred with the prosecutor, and so we'd like another setting. We're still conferring. I spoke with Mr. Ray Garcia, and another prosecutor had made the last offer, so it's going to remain the same. So we're not in agreement at this time, but we are going to continue conferring.
All right, so is your client asking for a jury trial or not?
Well, in light of the last offer, then yes. But I think, it is possible that the offer can change with continued conferences.
All right, have you received all the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Okay, offer tendered.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gaitan, can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, are you rejecting the state's offer?
Well, I haven't heard what offer was.
It was the same. Yeah, it was the same
same.
offer from last time.
Okay.
Nothing's changed.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can I have a date for Mr. Gaitan at the end of January, please?
Sorry, Judge. I thought you said the end of December, January. Give me 1 second.
Thank you. All right, we're going to come back on January 31st.
Yes,
Mr. Gaitan, that's going to be your plea deadline date. If you decide not to accept the plea bargaining agreement, the court will give you your jury setting on that date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Todd Coronado.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Andres Cardenas. He has 2 cases in your court. This is our first sitting after his competency has been restored. The situation, I have conferred with Joe Ray Garcia. He has 2 cases, like I said, in your court. I'm only appointed on one of them. And the other one, the court appointed attorney is Kirk Sherman, who I don't believe has showed up. And the other situation is the offer is, for my case, to be, without going into detail, to be TIC, if you please, on Kirk's case. So that's where we're at. We get a reset to try to get Kirk to come in as
All
well.
right, just one second. You can be excused, Mr. Coronado. Norma, can you get Kirk Sherman in here, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And your client will have to remain, and we'll get Kirk Sherman in here and see what's going on.
I may be excused, you said?
Yes,
Thank you, Honor.
you're welcome. Eduardo Jimenez.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Roy Ferguson. He's criminal trial division.
And let me see. I'll put you in breakout room number 3.
All right, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Raphael Leal.
Judge,
Yes, what is happening with your case?
well, I spoke with the district attorney on this case. Spoke with my client, and I think we need to set it for a jury trial, Your Honor.
All right, where is Victor Vela? All right, Mr. Vela, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Leal, have you received all the discovery?
I believe so, Judge.
Has an offer been tendered?
Yes.
Mr. Leal, I'm sorry, Mr. Vela, are you rejecting that offer?
Yeah. Yes.
That's either yes or no. It's not
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can you set this on December? And we will give you a jury trial date. You're going to come back on December 14th. That's your plea deadline date, and also the date for you to receive a jury trial date. This case has been around for a long time, at least in this court. And so after that date, the court is not going to accept any plea bargain agreements. And after that date, you will be given your jury trial date. If you decide to enter a plea, that plea will have to be entered open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, Norma, Mr. Victor Vela can go back.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Can I see you in a breakout room, Judge?
Yes. Number 1, everyone just give me a moment, please. All right, and if a prosecutor could go into the breakout room, please, with Eduardo Jimenez, because he's in a jury trial in another court. If you go to number 3, please. Mr. Ferguson, is there a reason you have your hand up?
Did you hear me?
No, I did not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was, I seen that you sent Mr. Hernandez to breakout room number 3, and I didn't know if I was supposed to go there, and I'm not sure how to do that.
No, you were not supposed to go there because you were not requested in that room.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Coronado is coming back in, Judge.
All right, thank you. Hi, Mr. Coronado. Thank you for coming back in.
Hello, Judge.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to send you to the breakout room with the state. I'm sure Norma is giving you an update.
Yes, that you spoke to Kirk, or somebody else spoke
Yes.
to Kirk.
All right, if I could have a family violence prosecutor speak with Todd Coronado, he'll
I had
bring
talked
in
to Joe Ray
breakout.
earlier today.
All right, so Joe Ray, if you could go to breakout room number 5, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, what is happening with Cornelius Cox and Bridget Garza?
Judge, let me send Tom a message.
All right, thank you.
Judge, it's Bridget Garza. Do you have a second to talk to me?
Yes. All right, I'll meet you in breakout room number 1.
Okay.
And if everyone can give me a moment, please. Norma, I'm going to send you a chat.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Todd Coronado, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. With Kurt Sherman, were you saying he's not feeling well today? So try to get me to work something out today, or?
No, Kurt Sherman no longer wants to be on the case because he doesn't feel well.
Oh, okay. So with that in mind, when I talk to Joe Ray right now, I don't, of course, I've not been the attorney on this case. So he's currently sending me discovery. So I'm just asking for a reset so that I can also meet with my client as well to go over it with them. I have an offer. I just don't have discovery, if that makes sense.
Okay, so how much time do you need?
I would need can you give me 30 days?
Sure. Norma, can you recall Mr. Cardenas for 30 days, please?
Sorry, Judge, I sent it to Brenda by accident.
No problem. All right, we're going to come back on January 11th.
Okay, got it.
And Ms. Ferguson, if you can assign Todd to that case, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And then one request, if I can just go in a breakout room with my client.
All right, let me find your client on the Zoom. Where is Cardenas? Is he in custody or on bond?
No, he's on custody. He's been there on more than I've seen him.
Okay, let me find him. Unless he's still in a breakout room, I think they may have sent him back.
Oh, well, he had told me I was excused. Maybe they thought he was excused as well.
Yes, he's no longer on the Zoom.
Okay, then I'll make sure to go visit him when I get to discovery.
All right, thank you.
Thank you much, Judge. My big excuse.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Norma, what is happening with Alfonso Cabanas?
Let me try to get a hold of him, Judge.
Judge, can I see in a breakout room?
Sure, just give me one moment. To the clerks, could I see the file on Lionel Young, please?
Judge, may I approach when you have a moment? Eduardo here.
Just one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Eduardo Jimenez.
Yes, Your Honor. So I spoke to the prosecution and also to my client. He's for the second time rejecting the offer, which and so he is asking for a trial by jury.
All right, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ferguson, where are you? He was here on Zoom screen.
Yeah.
Did he go to a breakout room with you?
Well, yes, he was in a breakout room with me, but I told him to exit so we could.
I'm gonna help him exit.
Okay, thanks.
All right, what we're gonna do, Norma, on Mr. Roy Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson, can you unmute for me, please?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Ferguson, my understanding is that you're rejecting the offer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Norma, can you set this in the second week of January, please, for me?
Your Honor, I apologize for having wasted you guys' time. I mean, I wasn't trying to do so. It's just,
Mr. Ferguson.
ma'am.
I'm paid to be here from 9 to 5 every single day. None of my time is wasted. If I thought my time was wasted, then I shouldn't be here.
Well,
Now, if I'm here at 11 p.m., then something's definitely wrong. All right, we're going to come back on January 11th.
Okay.
And that's your plea deadline date, Mr. Ferguson. And
I'm
you
not
will
quite
also receive a jury trial date on that date.
Okay.
All right, so you can come back by Zoom.
Okay.
And so whether you accept the plea or not, that's completely up to you. I'm just giving you that as your plea deadline date and your jury trial date. Well, the date for you to receive your jury trial date, okay?
Yes, ma'am. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. You're excused.
Okay.
Bridget Garza. And then Rebecca, I'll go to the breakout room with you.
Yes, Judge, I conferred with Thomas Nisbet. And so Cornelius and I are still reviewing the discovery, and we need to continue to talk to our client as far as strategy or how we're going to work out the case.
All right, so then I guess we need to find out, one, we're going to start setting this to find out if the state is seeking the death penalty, if they're not, because I only see what he's charged with. I don't know any underlying. I don't know if this is capital murder, life, or death, because I haven't received any information on it. So, Norma, can we set this for late January?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to recall this for January 31st for discovery.
Okay.
And so hopefully all the discovery will be in. And then if this is a case where the state is seeking the death penalty, which I don't know because I don't have any facts on the case, then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Is it possible for me to speak to Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, let me find where there Mr. Sanchez is. I'll send you both to breakout room number 3, but he'll need to come back to the main room.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And let me just find him on the docket.
He's on the add-on, Judge.
Thank you. And Norma, what date was Mr. Ventura set for? Landon Ventura?
I didn't get that date, Judge. I was going to ask you.
All right, to the clerks, can I have a file on Landon Ventura, please? And Rebecca, do we have Joe Blakely here?
That's what I was going to ask you, Judge, if you spoke with him when I was in a breakout room.
No.
Okay, I saw him earlier this morning, but he must have logged off. I sent a text to remind him to come back on.
All right, thank you.
And Judge, on Eduardo's guy Ferguson, he's awaiting evaluation still.
Oh, Eduardo Jimenez's client has an evaluation?
Yes. It's been ordered, but hasn't been done yet.
Okay. All right, Norma, and on Ferguson, could you check to see when the evaluation is going to be done?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no problem. Okay. All right, Norma, can you have Sylvia Cavazos come back in, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You know what? She wasn't here on Landon. That's why I didn't do it. She was here on Gaitan.
It was added to the add-on docket. Did you get the other copy of the add-on?
Yeah, I have it now, but I didn't speak to her about Ventura. So if you can have her log in.
Sure.
And her client's not here either.
Judge, can I see you in the breakout room?
Yes. Number 1. All right, 17I, are you Adam Gonzalez?
Yes,
All
yes.
right, Mr. Gonzalez, we're going to bring you back on December 13th. Norma, you can let them know that 17I can go back. Mr. Santos, who is your attorney?
I apologize. Montoya, I was supposed to go to court October 29th, a Friday, but I wasn't called. So I haven't talked to him since 2 weeks before the October 29th. So
All right, we'll find out why you're here. Okay, just give me a moment.
thank you.
What's your SID number, sir?
1115901.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can look that up and find out why Mr. Santos is here, because I don't see him on the docket.
Judge, he belongs in the 437, not in our court.
All right, Mr. Santos, you're supposed to be in the 437. You're not in this court. I know a lot of people like to come to the 187 district court, but you're in the 437.
Well, I apologize. Well, they put me at 8 o'clock this morning. I just,
Yeah,
I just
no,
been
it's not
and
this
waiting.
court. But welcome. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Quick question, which court?
You're in the 437 district court.
437. Well, thank you, David. Great weekend.
All right, you too. Just remain seated. My clerk, I'm sorry, the coordinator for this court.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry to interrupt. I know why I needed him here. I need to talk to Marcus. I don't even know if I'm sick. Marcus real quick.
Okay. Just one moment, Mr. Santos.
Judge, it's Bridget Garza. May I be excused now?
Yes.
Okay, and he should be back in the main room.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Norma, sub F can go back.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Norma, who's Mr. Acosta? Why is he here?
Judge, I'm on the phone with the jail. Give me 1 second.
All right. Adrian Garcia. Who are you waiting on?
Yes, ma'am. Alfonso Caballas.
All right, have you called Mr. Cabanos?
Yes, ma'am. I've contacted him several times. They haven't heard anything back. I'm sure he's in another courtroom.
All right, Jazz, give us a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Brenna, we're gonna come back at 2. So you can sign off. Everyone, we'll be back at 2 p.m. Mr. Garcia, we'll be back at 2.
Yes, ma'am. I do have to pick my children up at 2:30 and then one at 3:30. Should I just try to find a?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Norma McDaniel, L16 can go back. Margaret Dela Cruz. You need to be back on this Zoom at 2 or either in court. Norma, is Mr. Santos coming back at 2?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get a hold of Natasha.
All right, Mr. Santos, we'll have you back at 2 p.m., okay?
A quick question. Well, I know I'm here now, to testify.
No. We'll see you back at 2, okay?
Well, no, that's why I'm here at this court.
Yes, I know. We'll see you back at 2 p.m.
Take it out.
Okay. All right, thank you.